Well, first let's talk about your injury situation, not what you want heading into the state tournament.
Bad news the day before the game, you know. We're down 2 starters in the secondary against a team that throws it 50 times a game, and they're very good at it. So some guys got to step up and play some different positions, and some young guys are going to play a little bit more than they probably thought, and we'll see how it goes. You know, it doesn't change your game plan, not this late. So we're going to try and get pressure on them as best we can and help those guys out in the secondary.
Tell us who and what the situation is. Was this something that just happened in the mini playoff? Is it something that's been going on for a while, or what?
Malik, who starts a free safety, popped his hip muscle a little bit yesterday, and so, you know, kind of questionable. But today he's pretty sore, pretty limited, couldn't jog, so he's very doubtful to play tomorrow. And Sebastian has had a foot injury for a few weeks. You know, they x-rayed it and said there's a small fracture in there, and he's been cleared to play. And then today his doctor changed his mind and decided that Sebastian couldn't play. The plan was he's going to have some surgery after the season anyway to fix it, but today they decided to shut him down, even though he's running around just fine. So he was very upset, you know, and we rolled him into free safety to cover for Malik, knowing he can play. He's played there before, and he's a starting corner, and now he's out. So that meant moving some guys around a little bit today.
So I mean, you know, you've got athletes, but it's a whole different thing if they're playing out of position and not playing places that they're used to, right?
Yeah, it is. It is definitely. You know, we got guys now like Oba, who usually plays inside at outside linebacker. He's moved to corner. JJ, who has played corner and strong safety, he's gonna have to do both and sometimes be at free safety. Dawson Pike, who's hasn't played a lot of varsity secondary, a lot of JV time. Now he's gonna have to roll in and play both corner and free safety. So it just changes things, you know, puts guys in spots where things just move differently, you know, and so that's where we are.
Wow. Josh Bouchon has been playing multiple positions for you on defense. Is he one that might also help you out in that regard?
He'll play both our strong safety and our bandit position as kind of that weak side, outside linebacker, safety spot. You know, the plan with these guys is to really bring the pressure early and play a lot of man and see if that works. You know, and if that doesn't work, we have some dime and nickel packages. But with 2 starters out, that really kind of changes those dime and nickel packages a little bit. So we wrecked them a little bit today with some new guys, and you know, they looked okay, but definitely haven't gotten the reps there that the other guys had.
Well, going against a team like that, I mean, the best defense is to keep the ball on offense, right?
Yeah,
I mean, is that
absolutely.
Is that your game plan?
That is our game plan. You know, the games that were close for them, where teams ran the ball and kept them off the field and executed and were happy with 3-4 yards a run. That's what we're going to try and do. I think they probably know that, you know, and they have a pretty good defense. They have one of the best, supposedly the best defensive end in the nation. And what we noticed is if you run the ball inside, they move him inside. If you're moving the ball outside, he goes outside. So wherever he is, we're not going to be. That's the plan, you know, and make those other guys play.
Is that up to Camden to see, I mean, to literally see where he is and maybe change to some of their hole? Or?
He has some options. You know, what we noticed is he usually starts at defensive end, and then if you can run the ball inside, he moves. You know, he lines up at nose or tackle, and we hope he actually plays inside, because then we can double him better. Right. You know, so if he wants to play inside, we'll take it. And we'll get after him with 2 guys, and we're kind of built for that with our gap runs. So that's what we'll do.
When you look at this kind of a David versus Goliath type of thing, do you talk to the kids like that? I mean, is it you go to Evansville beating Kansas the other night,
Yeah.
25-point underdog, or do you even talk about that and it's just, hey, let's try to play our game?
You know, we don't talk much about being the underdog. I mean, they know. That's why the 16 plays the 1 and the 15 plays the 2. We talk about what we need to do. You know, it's always about us executing what we try to do our best stuff with, and I've been sending them little messages on our Blast account every night, just a quick little read. Last night it's some stuff I got from Pete Carroll about how to play on the road and what you need to do. I sent that. Before that, it was a little boxing story about gentleman Jim Corbett and some of his advice from many years ago. And you know, so it's about us. You know, we got to play our best, and on all 3 phases of the game. And you know, they know it doesn't matter to me really what the scoreboard says, as long as we step up, play our hearts out, leave it on the field. I'll live with the result.
There's a lot in the community being made about the 16 seed and no respect for the Big 9 and Eastmont getting the 15 seed. Do you have anything to say about that? I mean, the cards are dealt, and
yeah,
what can you do?
I wasn't surprised. You know, I thought when we lost to Walla Walla, I thought that hurt our seeding. And until people from our league step out and play better teams non-league and win, I think that's what we should expect to be, is pretty low on that seeding list. You know, we stepped out and played Mount Si, played them tough, but ultimately lost that game, and then we lost to a Walla Walla team that was 500. And Eastmont needs to step out and play some 4A schools instead of 2A schools and compete with them. You know, and we can do that, then we'll get some love. But until that happens, that's where we're going to be.
With a situation like this where you're traveling tomorrow and you know, getting there a couple hours before the game and things like that, it's been a while since you've had a club that's done this. So what do you prep them for? What do you, I mean, you know, what's the important thing, mindset, physically, getting off the bus, getting warmed up, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Skyline High School about 1 o'clock, and they loan us their field. So we're just gonna go out and jog through our stuff and get our heart rates up a little bit. Spend about an hour there, reviewing special teams. You know, nothing too tricky. Then we're gonna drive to Renton and have a nice dinner about 3 o'clock with the team, and head to the field at 5. Get some extra warm-up time, and just get, you know, used to the surroundings. But I think mentally, these guys know where we need to be. Pretty good week of practice, considering what happened today. Guys are locked in, and you know, there's not a bunch of hoot and hollering speeches I can give at this point. You know, we're in the playoffs against the #1 seed, and you know, it's about tonight, probably about getting a good night's sleep and feeling bouncy tomorrow about 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Obadiah, how is he after that shoulder hit last week in the mini playoff? Is he doing okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He practiced all week and no issues.
Any more hamstring issues with Nate, or is he okay?
Seems to be fine. Running hard today, and hopefully there's no surprises anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Congratulations on Coach of the Year honors.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know if you paid much attention to that stuff. Kids got you know, some accolades as well, and
yeah, I thought our players got some respect. It was nice to see.
Defensive line, the defensive line of the year. I think that's well deserved. I think that as a group, they've done really well this year.
They have. They're a scrappy group. You know, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run and getting after the quarterback, and we need to have an outstanding performance from those front four Friday.
So is this a game where you have to play perfect, or is this a game, I mean, what's your mindset going into this?
I don't know if you can play perfect. I know offensively we do not want to turn the ball over. 3 points is okay in a game like this, especially early. If we need to kick a field goal, we will. And you know, we kind of 2 game plans. We're going to go in with our base front, play man, and we're going to bring it. And usually what we've noticed is they only block with 5 linemen, and they leak their back out a lot. And he's been sacked 1 time all year. And usually teams rush 3 or 4, and he has 5 to 6 seconds to throw the ball. And we don't have a bunch of D1 corners that can cover that long, so we're going to get after him and see if we can get him on his back. And so we've got every twist and stunt that every team has. We threw a couple wrinkles in for this one, and we'll see if it works.
Well, and you got some tall kids on the ends to be able to get hands up too.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you see them standing in the A gaps going full speed ahead.
Nice, nice. How important is it, and this is probably saying the obvious, but for Camden and Nate to have big games for you?
Yeah, they have to. You know, we have to keep their team off the field. You know, they score quick. They run, 70, 80 plays of offense a game. They try to go fast. They're loaded all over the field with their skill kids. They're just loaded. Running back's a stud, quarterback, and they're all studs. And the longer they're on the sideline, the better. So we need to chunk it out 3-4 yards at a time when you hit our play action passing game and execute that and just keep the chains moving and keep them on the sideline.
Is the fact, I don't know if we talked about the seeding and stuff like that, but if you're going to be the best in the state, why not beat the best right out of the gate?
That's right. Yeah, and I've told the kids, once you get here, anything can happen, and it happens every year. There's upsets, crazy things happen in the playoffs, and they're all good. So don't whine about where we are, just line up and play. And the pressure's on them. We're not supposed to win. They are. They got the #1 seed, and they got all these guys with scholarships, and they pay the tuition to go to school there and all that kind of stuff. And pressure's on them. We just need to come out and play fast and tackle and execute and enjoy another week of football.